Welcome back to another episode of Jason's Bricks and 5, where we discuss LEGO content in videos of around 5 minutes. Now, I will give a disclaimer on this one. This is going to run a little long. I know that because I've tried this video about 3 times and just can't seem to get it within that time frame. But I'll try to be as succinct as I can, and who knows, maybe I'll luck out and be entertaining. So we are back from Brickworld Chicago. We were gone about a week. We drove out, spent 3 days at the convention, and then drove back through Milwaukee and Minneapolis and Denver. Stopped at some LEGO stores along the way. But we had a really great time. So I thought I could quickly just kind of recap my haul of items here. I have some that I got non-convention items, I guess, and then the items that I got at the convention. Quickly talk about those, and then also I will talk just kind of generally about my feelings on the convention. Previous to this, really the only major LEGO convention I've been to is Brickslopes, and I've been there a couple of times. Last year was the first time I went as a full participant, or a presenter, I guess you might say. And so, I'll kind of talk a little bit about the differences that I noticed there, because there are a lot of similarities, but there are a few little differences and things that kind of stuck out for me. So the convention was great. We were there for the Thursday and Friday convention, I guess full participant days. And then there was Saturday and Sunday, which were the public days. And so it was interesting to see how it changed from those first 2 days to the last 2 days. When we went to the convention on Saturday, because we weren't staying at the hotel, we were staying at one just down the street. The parking lot was totally different situation, completely crowded, line of hundreds of people, if not thousands, waiting to get in, that wrapped around the building. And so fortunately we had our badges and we could kind of sneak past all of that. But it was fun because there, as far as how it compares to Brickslopes, there were definitely more full convention participants. And I think Cody on Brickslope, or on Bricking News, when he appeared, said that they tend to have more people that are the full participants, I guess. I don't know what the correct term is, but their public days kind of rivaled what Brickworld has. So you definitely could tell that there were more people there for the non-public portions. As far as the space, it was a large space. We'd heard that it was 4 times the convention area, and all of this from people that had been before. And I have to be honest, when I first walked in, I didn't get blown away by the size of the convention. It didn't feel that much larger than the space they've had at Brickslopes, at least last year. And my wife and I were talking about that, and I even saw Cody there, one of the co-owners of the Brickslopes convention, and he said that the space is about double. So I think he said Brickslopes has about 48,000 or 50,000 square feet, and Brickworld has about 100,000 square feet. So it's about double the space, but it really didn't feel like twice the size. And as I've thought about it, I think the biggest reason for that was the way that they had the floor laid out. They had all of the vendors selling items right in the middle of the floor. And so there were a couple of rows of that, whereas at Brickslopes, they were just along the edges. And so I don't know if it's that it kind of divided the floor, and maybe that's why you didn't get the sense of that large area. But for some reason, it didn't feel like it was double the space. It felt large, don't get me wrong, but I didn't feel like it was an overwhelmingly, larger amount of space than at Brickslopes. The other thing that really jumped out at me, at Brickslopes, they had some really great big mocks. There was the big Avatar build from the Idaho lug that has 2 million bricks, and there was a big huge Hoth battle display, Star Wars display that was set up. There was the Secrets of Wildwood, just a lot of massive displays, and I didn't feel that there was quite as many of those large displays. There were a lot of great displays. There were a lot of small builds, even good sized builds. So I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. There was a lot of, great options with movements, and the light, they had their World of Lights the last day, or Saturday, I guess it was. that night, that definitely was at another level than what we saw at Brick Slopes. So, but I was surprised. I expected there to be, I guess, just larger, massive displays and that I just didn't see. But that's okay. I personally look for some of the smaller mocks because that's more the scale of what I'm going to be able to make. I'm not probably looking to fill up a whole room full of, an amusement park or something like that because I just don't have space. But speaking of that, they did have a really awesome Walt Disney World display. And at the World of Lights, they had projections on the castle, just like they have at Disney World. And it was a really, really neat effect. So, there were a lot of different things that were there that were neat and different. But that was just one thing that stuck out to me. As far as the items that I got at the show, there were a lot of, people that watch the channel, first off. That was really neat to see people come up and say they watch the channel or, they watch Bricking News. And, that was really an interesting experience because, in the past, we had a little bit of that at Brick Slopes, but, prior to that, I would go to these conventions and I was just a regular guy. So it was neat to see people that, I've seen comment or, watch the show and come up and talk to me about it. And so that was really enjoyable. There were also a lot of, social media personalities, like you might say, influencers. And I got a lot of, different little swag and, we got some stickers here, which was pretty cool. I got this brick train sign that Joey gave me, so that was neat. One of the other viewers, Chris, you'll see him featured on the next episode of Bricking News in the community commentary. He has a micro build, and he had made this out of the Bricking News tile for me, kind of a street billboard for a micro city, which is kind of neat. And he also made this TV. Now, Chris, if you're watching, I'll just tell you, if it looks a little different, it had an issue on the travel home, and the parts kind of disintegrated, so I tried my best to put it back together. If it's wrong, sorry, but that's what we've got. The other thing that I did is, I didn't do a very good job of it, but I tried. I've decided I'm going to try to make either a wall or a sidewalk with, maybe some of the viewers or friends of the channel, so to speak. So that's what I've done here, is I have some of these 2x3 tiles that are signed by some people. If you were there and I didn't ask you to sign one, I apologize. Like I said, it's something I've just kind of started this time. So I'm trying to get better at it, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. Like I said, a sidewalk, a wall, I don't know, something. But I think it'll be kind of a neat thing to have. But I've got a couple of sig figs. I've got a couple that Joey sent me, or gave me, I should say. These are his original of him and Heather. And then there's Tim. You may remember the two Tims from Brickmasters. They were the guys that had overalls. Had a great conversation with him. So he gave me his fig. And then Shy from Shy Time, he gave me his sig fig, which is probably the most detailed, personalized fig that I've seen for a sig fig. It's even got shoe printing and on the hat and stuff, so really neat. There's these pogs. So these are the Lego Dimension tiles, or discs, I should say. And Joey, or Brick Trains, took them and essentially reprogrammed them so that you can hold them up to your phone. And he gave a couple to me. And so I used those to give out tokens to people that I appreciated their builds. So we've got that. And then, of course, my badge. I've got my Brick Slopes tiles, but then some of the new ones on here. Got my badge. And then some of the swag. This was one of the things, my wife and I got the same thing. We got this little thing of, little 2x2 rock slopes and these little fern leaves. It was nice to get those, but there's, I think, like 10 of each. That's one thing that I did notice is a difference from Brick Slopes. Brick Slopes has, it was a big, sandwich bag full of parts that everyone got, and it was multiple times. So, that was one thing that I noticed, but Cody is nicknamed the King of Swag. So, I got this Ninjago poly bag. This was our blind build we did. We did not win, didn't do very good, but that's it. They have a much larger garage sale, and I did participate in that. I was able to find this Star Wars 20th anniversary set. So my son had the original one. We still have it, but I wanted to get this one. It's got the 20th anniversary figure, and I've got some of those. So there was someone that had this, and I want to say it was like 35 bucks. So I was happy to be able to get that. Oh, at the yard sale, I also did get 7 of these. And in case you're wondering, they are all Oswald. Plus there was another vendor selling one. So I got 8 more Oswalds to add to the army. So we'll update the counter. So now that we're over 260, let's move forward. So I did win one of the raffles. I won a Minecraft set. So Minecraft's not necessarily my thing, but free Lego is always great. And then there was this. There was a vendor that was selling these. He did a display of them, and I looked at them a few times. It's a Lego sorting box. I might do a video on it. Let me know if you're interested. It's basically this little laser cut wood tray that can be adjusted, and you can sort out the Lego, like loose bulk into 4 different sizes. Kind of make it easier to sort. So he displayed it and demonstrated it. I thought it was pretty good, so I'm kind of excited to try that out. So maybe we'll see a video next week or so. And then as far as the rest of our trip, like I mentioned, you may have seen the video. We stopped in Milwaukee and at the Mall of America. And then in Denver, we stopped at the Colorado Mill store, which is kind of an outlet store. So they have a lot of sets that have recently retired or, maybe some damaged sets. And they had 2 of the Lunar New Year parades with the rabbit. This is a set I have. Got it, built it last year, love it. And they had this one, it was 40% off. And so I went ahead and jumped on it because. The other thing they had at the Colorado store is they had the new passport. So we don't have the red one. So we now have 4 different passports. We did get our passport stamped. But so I was excited to get these because most of the stores haven't had them. And then we got some of the designable minifigures, or, where you print your own design on there. So I got some of those, and my wife was able to design her own sig fig. She's finally decided to do that with her avatar from her YouTube alias, I guess. So that was kind of fun. But yeah, overall, we had a great trip. Lots of great things. Probably the best part was just meeting people, people that I've interacted with, through comments on the video and, them watching, and, beyond that. That was probably one of the highlights for sure. Just meeting people and doing that and getting to kind of know people on a more personal level. So, yeah, if you're thinking of going to a Lego convention, Brickworld's a great one. Brick Slopes is also a good one. There's lots of other ones. It just kind of depends on, where you're at and the timing and whatnot. But it's a fun experience, for people that are, big into the Lego community. So. That's going to do it for my quick overview of the haul and review of Brickworld. You can look for more Brickworld coverage from this year in the next episode of Bricking News. And just want to say thanks for watching another episode of Jason's Bricks and 5, and we'll see you next time. Happy building!